Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we will look at another concept in Java and in many other programming languages called flags. Okay, now to start looking into what flags are, let's first of all create a new class because this class is already clustered. Right-click on your section name, create a new class. Let's call it flags. Finish. By default, let's define our main method, leave it empty. We're going to create a method, public static void. That's going to be, we're just going to simply call it checker. Okay. And let's have this method. Our method will have an argument, an int argument, that's going to be called number. So this statement, this method checks for a number, checks whether a number is even or odd. Okay. Now, first of all, before we get into flags, how can we identify whether a number is even or not? Even means a number is divisible by 2. So 4, 6, 8, 100, then 2046. These are all even numbers, correct? So everything else is not an even number. They are odd. Okay? So to verify for this, we have, if you still remember, we have a modulus operator in Java. So if I say a number, let's call it 4, modulus 2 is going to return 0 because 4 is divisible by 2 and there is going to be no remainder. However, if I use modulus and try to find modulus of 5 by 2, it's going to return 1. So obviously, any number that returns 0 after modulus operation is going to be an even number, and any number that returns 1 after modulus operation, modulus to 2, is going to be an odd number, correct? So can I say if, for example, if number modulus 2 is equal to 0, this is an even number. Otherwise, there's no need for a condition with else statement. Otherwise, if a number is not even, it is odd number, correct? Great, now we have designed our basic if-else condition. We know that if a number is divisible by 2 and has no remainder, it is going to be even, otherwise it's going to be odd. Now, you can write this code like this, and there is nothing wrong with it. This is perfectly fine code. But however, I would like to introduce you the idea of a flag here. Boolean flag. Flags in Java or in any programming language are used to check for certain conditions. And the reason why they're called flag is because sometimes they can only have 2 values, true or false. So flag can be up or flag can be down. If the flag is up, it carries a true value. If the flag is down, it carries a false value. Okay, this is the similarity between a flag and the Boolean. So if I say my flag, or let's give it a good name, is even flag, or let's call it just even flag, is it gonna be equal to this operation, this condition. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. What are 2 possible values that this condition is going to return? This condition can either return true or this condition can return false, right? So if a number is 4, if I do 4 modulus 2, it's going to be equal to 0. Is 0 equal to 0? Yes. So in this case, if the number here is 4, this is going to be true. If the number is 5, however, 5 modulus 2, is it equal to 0? No, it's equal to 1. So in that case, it's going to return a false value, correct? So that is what a flag does. Flag takes a condition and holds its value. Now, instead of this, I can put this. I can say if even flag, then this number is even. If not, else this number is odd. So does this make sense? Let's look at it from another perspective. Now, this is going back to our positive numbers, right? So let's say we're going to ignore the case of 0. We're going to create another Boolean is positive. This is going to be our another flag. How are we going to define the value of this flag? We're going to say if number is more than 0, it is a positive number. Otherwise, it's a negative number. If is positive is true, it means number is positive. Otherwise, the number is negative. Let's create our if statement. If is positive, system out, positive number. Correct? Else, system out, negative number. I just want to use syntax in this order so as to show you that sometimes you can see this kind of a coding as well. This is perfectly fine. If you remember our early classes, we said that in Java, most spaces are optional. Okay, so we'll not dive into that. We'll stay on our course. If a number is greater than 0, it is positive. In any other case, it is not a positive number. It can be 0, but 0 is not a positive number. Using this flag here, we can create a simple if-else condition, if-else block, saying that if is positive, right? If this is true, then print out positive number, else print out negative number. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to call our checker on number 5. What is the output going to be? Is 5 even number or an odd number? 5 is an odd number. Basically, even flag is going to be false, and obviously our else block is going to print right here. And is 5 a positive number? Yes, 5 is a positive number. And since 5 is a positive number, our is positive variable is going to hold a true value, and then this if block is going to be executed. Else block will be ignored. Let's run this code. And as expected, we have this is an odd number and a positive number. Now, there are a couple things I want to mention about flags. Number one is naming. Let's actually use multi-line comments here. So naming flags need to make sense. Is positive. Positive flag is unique, is odd, is even usually, right? So this makes sense from the perspective that we know that this either is positive or not. This can carry either a positive value or a negative value. This is either true or false, okay? So naming is important. Make sure you make they make sense to readers, because the purpose of flags is to make it easy to read your code, correct? Because you might have a very long condition here. You might have a very long condition saying that number is greater than 0 and number is less than 2 billion, whatever the maximum number integer value is, right? For example, I forgot. And obviously this is more than the maximum. Yes, out of range. So let's delete one. And or for example, you might have multiple conditions. Instead of having this condition, this huge conditional statement within your if statement, you can actually use a flag for that. And down the road, not now, I'm just giving you idea that methods can also serve as flags. So down the road, you will see cases where your conditions are so complex that you cannot simply use one line to define the condition, whether it's a true or false. You might create a method that will serve as a flag. And actually, not I'm looking at, actually within the next 2 videos, we will see a method that acts as a flag. and that's going to come from our scanner class. So stay tuned. Thank you for your time, and I will see you again.